Hey sportsman, John Bergsman here from Fisherman's Digest. We're up here on the Rainy River, Lake of the Woods County, Minnesota. We're up here river fishing early fall. This is one of the best times to plan a trip to come up to the Rainy River because the walleye are pouring in out of Lake of the Woods. We're gonna have an awesome show, catch tons of fish, and we are gonna be rod in hand fishing. My favorite way to fish. Stay tuned. That's a fish.
Here's a fish.
Oh, yeah,
better one there.
It's a nice one. Yeah, Joe Henry.
You know, if I gotta sit here and be your professional net man, what the heck? You look like you caught a walleye before too, huh?
Hey, John Bergsman here with Joe Henry from Lake of the Woods Tourism, and Joe, that is exactly what we've come here for.
You know what? The walleye capital of the world, I think right now is showing why.
And I'm telling you what, our hats are practically blowing off. But we're in here thick, and we've done a good job so far of identifying where the walleye are not.
Right.
And that's part of it. You know, you move around, and then you find an area that's produced boom, boom.
Well, and I think it's good to know too that, you know, the Rainy River feeds Lake of the Woods. And with the wind we have today, instead of going to the lake because it's so windy, we made a decision to fish the river. And there are literally
bajillions.
There's 42 miles of navigable Rainy River, John. And you know what? This is what's living in.
Oh man, I'm telling you what. And there is nothing better, 30 years of tournament fishing, there's nothing better than coming to the Lake of the Woods and experiencing these tasty fish. They are pure, they're unspoiled by pollution, and when you eat one of these fish fries, you know you've had one.
Well, I'll tell you the other thing too, you can tell you're getting a little rusty because when you set that hook, you're off the center of the snout by just a little bit. Do you see that?
Smidge.
He's off just a little. Good job.
But let me tell you what, Joe, thank you. All right, let me pop, you're gonna pop it off for me?
Yeah, bet.
Beautiful.
Beautiful fish.
That is lovely, and we're gonna eat that fish tonight. That's a better one.
Oh, we got frickin' stuff on that here. Hold on. Oh, better one?
Yeah,
nice
nice.
fish.
Nice. Way to go, Joe.
Way to go,
Show
John.
that Lake of the
one.
Woods. And you know what, Joe? I was drop back jigging.
You were, huh?
I was drop back jigging with the current. So what that is, guys, is start right below the boat, and as the current blows your jig out, every time you lift it, it'll blow it back a little, and you drop it and drop it. That was about the 8th lift, and whack. And I mean, you can see the classic way he hit that.
Look at that. Big old shiner hanging on there, right?
Oh, yeah. One of the cool things, Joe, about this whole area is that you guys can see it and feel it. We are in a 20-mile-an-hour gale.
Yeah.
And when you come to Lake of the Woods, you've got that massive lake that's wonderful and just filled with fish. But when you get a day like today, you just can't go out there. So the river is your backup.
It's great because from the mouth of the river all the way to where we are now, you know, it's about 42 miles of navigable river.
And I mean, you see behind us, guys, I mean, it's sand, it's rock, it's up, it's down, it's pools, and it is filled with tasty walleye. Let's get back at it.
Okay. Changing jigs, that's it.
Another one, Joe. That's awesome.
Look how golden this one is, John.
Oh, the colors.
So he pinned it, see that?
Oh.
He pinned it on the bottom.
Oh, he did, because I felt the hit.
Yeah, he pinned that baby. But nice walleye, look at that baby.
Beautiful.
Do you think they're golden?
Oh, I'm just telling you, I came here all wound up. Joe's made me feel mellow.
You know, walleyes will do that to a person, won't
Oh, they do. There's just something about being out here. I drove 900 miles to come fishing for 3 days at Lake of the Woods. I'm telling you, if you put a limit on the therapy that Baudette, Minnesota and the Lake of the Woods region has on you, you are making a mistake. I know people that spend $10,000 and go to the Bahamas and come back all stressed out. Not here. You drive through God's country to get to God's country, and when you get here, it is laid back. And the people, this is the big deal. These people have for 70, 80 years been serving people. They understand that people come here for that very reason. So they make your trip enjoyable by not adding to the stress, actually helping you lose it.
You know, it's not always it's the old saying, it's not always what you do, it's what it does for you.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Angler Quest, built with purpose. Traxstech, the ultimate fishing system. Strike King, tie one on. Garmin.
Big fish, yeah, better fish.
All right.
Yeah. Good job, Joe.
Oh, good job, John.
Thanks.
Look at that.
Thanks for the net job.
We'll take that, right?
That's right. Oh,
another one,
good
double
job.
header, huh?
Doubled up. Now this boat's equipped with a spot lock trolling motor. Now there's two ways you can do this when you come up. You can throw a traditional anchor, and typically if you don't have too big of waves, it's actually a big tip to anchor with your butt into the waves. It locks you in with less movement rather than anchoring off the front. Now I've got a Garmin Force trolling motor, the new Garmin Force. It does a great job, and what I like about this is that Greg can move us around the hole a little bit sliding. We're a little bit more mobile than hoisting that anchor up every time you want to move. So whichever you choose to use and your boat is equipped for, I love this, these spot lock trolling motors again, and you can also throw just a traditional anchor.
That's what most people do, and it works great.
Exactly.
Yep.
So let me show you a couple of different ways that we fish here on the Rainy River as well as Lake of the Woods. There's a couple, 2-3 cadences that are super important to catching fish. The first thing that you have to start out with is bottom, and that sounds crazy, but get your jig all the way to the bottom. Then I'm going to pull it up maybe an inch to an inch and a half so that my resting motion in my hand has that jig an inch and a half off the bottom. And then I'm going to pound jig it. I'm going to drop jig that and cause the silt or whether it's rock I'm hitting to make noise, I'm dropping down to hit bottom and then pulling back up immediately that inch and a half. And that creates the up and down. Now, a lot of times the fish don't constantly, when they're a little negative, they don't want that jig motion. They want that jig to stop momentarily. So what I do, rather than just completely leave it still, is I'll just act like shivering. See how my rod tip, I just shiver it back and forth right there. And that will make the tail on that minnow dance because my jig is moving. And that still jig with the dancing tail, again, makes that minnow look like it's struggling, and that triggers the instinct within a fish, that predatory instinct that says, hey, I'm a river fish, that means they're a feeding fish, and they're gonna go over there and just slam that thing. And when you feel it, the last thing I'd encourage you to do is to be patient. You don't have to set that hook immediately. A lot of times when I feel that bite, I'll just give it ever so slight up pressure, and then that fish will rebite. It will suck it in again and slam the lips down because it feels that minnow coming out of the mouth just ever so slightly with that pressure. When I feel that rebite, that's when I immediately lift up. You catch a high percentage of fish if you're patient with your hook set.
Stinger only.
Oh, I'm not gonna miss. Oh, yeah. This right here where we fight this fish is?
Pull the extension out.
No.
Out there a ways.
I'm not gonna reach that far. I gotta see her. This water's tepid. I can only see what I can see. She's hooked good enough that she's fought this long.
That crazy big one in current.
There you go, Jonesy. Good one.
Yeah. Yeah, Jones.
Current throws in the bite, that's for sure. Solid hook set though.
And that fish, pull that off of there.
There we go.
We finally got one to release.
Yep, there you go.
Well, ate that jig too, didn't it? Look at that jig is.
That jig is gone. Look at that in that sunlight.
I've been snagged so many times I wasn't sure, but I set hard anyway.
Show that jig to him because you're stinger hook fishing, and that's just another little change to what we're doing.
Not much for weeds or anything here, so I can see that stinger still inside his mouth there.
See that?
But, you know, over the years I found it really doesn't affect the bite here. Other places, you know, you got to play it by how it's
right,
what the conditions are. But many hooks as you can do.
Hooks
legally,
are good.
that's what
Here
I
you
like
go.
on that one.
Hooks are a good thing when you're looking for a good fish.
You want to be careful of them stinger hooks so they can find their way into a lot of things.
Look at that right there. Isn't that awesome? You know what, Joe Henry, that's what fishing Lake of the Woods and the Rainy River is all about right here.
So great. We've got
It
so
is.
many fish today, multi-species. It's beautiful fall. I mean, this is great.
It is. And we're gonna let this one go because as we all know, 19 and a half and over, all the way to 28, we gotta let him go. So this girl's gonna grow back up and give another angler a great fight here at Lake of the Woods.
Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Kraft, the toughest built aluminum boats, bar none. Dreamweaver, home of the revolutionary spin doctor. Lose, feel the difference. WavePro, best ride on the water.
Always have a second rod ready. Fish will be around, but not for long.
Yes.
There he is.
That was farther back, though.
What?
That was a little farther back, I think.
Here you go, Joe.
A better one.
Yeah, it's a nice one. We don't know what it is, but
walleye.
it's nice.
It's walleye.
Oh yeah, it's a nice walleye. Beautiful, Joe
Isn't that
Henry.
neat? But isn't that fun how we caught that one?
Exactly, and Joe decided to switch it up because we've been struggling really to get bit today. And Joe put her, I'll get it out for you. Show that fish off while I work on that.
Nice fish. Well, you know what we did is, you know, we've been jigging, right? And we're catching one here, catching one there, but not fast and furious. And just for the number of fish we're seeing on the graph, I thought, you know, I'm gonna go after that reaction bike. Fish, oh, we lost him. But, you know, I put on a rip and wrap, and that's that vibrating lure, lipless crank. And I'll tell you what, I was working that thing in the current, pulling it forward, dropping it back, pulling it forward, and boy, when I dropped that thing back, did that walleye ever hit. You can hear that bait if you listen. Feel those BBs? And I'll tell you, in Lake of the Woods, that's also a very, very good ice fishing lure. So when you're jigging, you could have two lines in Minnesota. So you jig with one, like a rip and wrap, you rip it. The active fish will hit the rip and wrap. The ones that aren't so active, the walleyes that aren't so active, they'll come over and hit your dead stick, your live minnow under a bobber. Tell you what, kind of the 1-2 punch. Those guys are both jigging. I'm using that rip and wrap. Hey, I can't wait to get back in for more.
I'll open the live well for you, Joe. Drop it right there.
Go back in there and it's just...
So what Dave's showing you right there, cameraman Dave, thanks a lot for joining us. We got a whole school of lake shiners swimming underneath the boat right now. That's the bait and the forage that's coming in, and as you can see coming onto the Garmin right now, nice walleye right on the bottom. And what happens is those fish will come in the fall from Lake of the Woods and they'll migrate up the Rainy River, and they're chasing these fall shiner runs that are coming in out of the main lake. And so that's what draws in thousands and thousands of people from all over the Midwest, from Iowa, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. Everybody knows about this Lake of the Woods Rainy River fall bite. And this is really just getting started, isn't it, Greg? I mean, it gets stupid in about 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep, Halloween's probably the peak of the bite. It gets
Right.
a little chilly fishing.
Everybody else is collecting candy.
Yep.
We're in the boat. Big fish.
Is it?
He was going right for the engine.
All right, we'll get
I
him.
had to get him away.
Ah, little guy.
Oh, it's not. but it's a nice one.
Nice walleye, yeah.
Nice walleye.
I was expecting big, big, you know.
He hit me like a ton of bricks.
Boy, I'll tell you what,
well,
nice.
Joe, you were just talking about that on a Facebook post.
Yeah.
Look at that beautiful fish. And show that jig off. That's been a hot one.
That has been a hot jig. You know, on Lake of the Woods in the Rainy River, it's stained water. You know, we got the tannins, it's staining it from the bogs and stuff south of us. So consequently, because that stained water, gold is always a good color. But man, pink and glow white, glow reds even are good. This has all three colors, pink, glow white, and gold. And John, that's your favorite here, isn't it?
Oh, it is. I've been fishing here for, I think, 29 years now, and Brian and I turned me on to that, and it has been a stellar color. Stellar. And that right there, that's what we come here for, to eat. Perfect eater-sized fish.
What does it do for you when you set that hook? How's that feel?
It's like, if you're in the city and you're dealing with everything we've dealt with in 2020, Joe, you have to come here and do this.
Look at this.
I know, you look around, there's an eagle soaring. He lands in the tree.
There's a rainbow.
I know, it's amazing. This, if you need a stress break, this right here. The outdoors, some great fishing, great company, that's what it is.
You know what? Social distancing naturally.
That's right. Having the wind blow the germs away.
Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Offshore Tackle Products, Flo-Fast, world's leading portable fluid transfer system, Drotto, catch and release boat system.
Are you net?
Oh,
I can tell that was gonna come off if I went to hoist them.
right there. Beautiful little fish. You know what? If we were looking for more food, we'd keep them, but this girl's going to grow up too. Hey sportsman, John Bergsman here with Fisherman's Digest. We're here today with Mike from Flo-Fast. Mike, the first thing I noticed when I showed up and started looking your system over is we got all these different colors. Let's go through the colors and what they stand for.
Yeah, so the red is going to be for gasoline, yellow is for diesel, blue is for kerosene, and the natural colors for chemicals, could be hazmat materials, could even be water. And we do make them in all the different size containers, from our 7.5 to our 10.5 that you see here, and in our 15-gallon size too.
Wow, that really makes for a really interesting thought that just hit me while we're talking about all these different. I mean, a guy like a hobby farmer or a guy who has a tractor or a skid steer, anything like that, he can build a system using our cart to have all the different fuels that he's going to use on his property.
Yeah, I mean, you can buy the system, you can buy a complete system like you see here, or you can buy individual containers and pumps by themselves, and you can actually mix and match if you wanted gasoline and diesel. You probably are going to want two pumps for
the gas and diesel, so you don't contaminate either.
Correct.
Right. But that system right there, just looking at, that makes a ton of sense to me for a lot of people that I know who are going to have, you know, I know a lot of farmers, a lot of guys who have property up north, their deer camps, you know, they got a tractor up there, which is a diesel. And then they got four-wheelers like we got behind us, who are getting to and from the blind and just, you know, putting in food plots. That type of system looks like it's just the berries for just getting it done and having that gas you need when you need it.
Yeah, and you can move up to 8 gallons per minute with it, so whatever you're fueling, it works very well. You know, whether it's the power sports market, the farm and ag, lawn and garden, marine market, Flo-Fast makes refueling safe, fast, and it's very easy to use.
That sounds awesome. So, hey, check out all of Mike's products at flofast.com. That's flofast.com. And you know what? I think this would look great on your farm. Right now, we want to talk about one thing more than anything else, guys. I'm talking to my audience here in the state of Michigan. We're out here with Joe Henry from Lake of the Woods Tourism. Look behind you, you see an absolutely beautiful shoreline. We're up here, Joe, on the Rainy River. Yep. And we're connected, of course, directly. That dumps into Lake of the Woods. One of my all-time favorite, it's right in my heart here. My tournament fisherman partner, Brian Nye, has been up here his whole life. But Joe and I have hooked up to start promoting this right here. Eater-sized walleye, many eater-sized walleye a day with that chance, Joe, of 8 and 10 pound fish.
Well, you fish tournaments. I mean, you know, it takes a few things to have a big fish water, and one of them is a gene pool, the other one's a forage, and the other one's the size of the fishery. I'll tell you what, as you know from the tournament fishing, we put out a lot of big walleyes too.
Oh, tons of big walleyes. They've got a slot limit. That helps protect those big fish from being removed. And they've got lake shiners, which is what we're using. And most importantly today, I'm jigging. That means I felt that bite. Punk, right on my line. I was able to drop down, set the hook. There's nothing better, Joe, than feeling that thick, that thwack right in the middle of your palm.
That's heaven, isn't it?
It is. Hey, we'll be right back to you. But watch our Facebook page because Joe here is going to give us weekly reports, written reports, and then maybe once or twice a month, Joe's going to give us a video as well to keep us all in tune with what's going on, because this is other than from like April 1st until the first weekend in May, this is a year-round fishery that you've got to check out. You see the way that fish hit that jig.
I'm ready to catch another one.
Get down there. I'll show this one off in the beautiful Minnesota sunlight. Look at that. Beautiful leader. How gold they are. Okay. Hey everybody. Thanks for joining us here on the Fisherman's Digest. To Joe Henry from Lake of the Woods Tourism and our buddy Greg Jones for doing an awesome job on the boat. Look at these beautiful Lake of the Woods walleye. Rainy River, you got to get up here. You got to try this experience. We'll see you again next week.
Closed captioning is brought to you by WavePro. Best ride on the water. Online at waveproshock.com.